is your power. My beauty is my power. Hey, hey, hey now. Hear these words and sing it louder. We turn beauty into power. We turn beauty into power. Hey, hey, hey now.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining Beauty into Power with Dr. Cheryl Renee. I am so excited to have you join me today on this wonderful, 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 beautiful day. And it's exceptionally great because I have someone who means so much to me. And I want to introduce my audience to this divine, amazing talent named Ashton Hall.
Thank you.
Welcome, welcome, sir.
Such a pleasure to be here.
Oh
Such
my
a pleasure
gosh,
to
the
be
pleasure is all mine, King. I am so elated to have you here. To those of you who do not know him, I'm going to introduce you to him, but I'm going to let him tell you who he is in 1 minute. Because the bottom line is, we're here to show you that beauty infused in who we are can bring about power. And that man speaks to this motto.
Wow.
So, Mr. Ashton Hall, will you please tell our audience who you are, what you do, and why you do it?
Well, it's such an honor to be here. I've been in the fashion industry now, let's just say for more than 20 years.
Yes.
Let's not give specific dates.
20 plus.
20 plus, 20 plus. But I love what I do because the thing about fashion, it allows you to tell a story. So, for example, when I do a collection, I put a whole theme behind it with the colors, with the fabrications, and then you're putting this whole story down the runway from start to finish. But more importantly, throughout my journey, I've seen a lot of people evolve, whether it's on the modeling side or the hair or the makeup people. Those that I've worked with, I'm able to say, I remember when. And to know that I was implementing, an opportunity for them to take their dream and take it forward is the greatest reward, honestly.
That's amazing. Yeah. So that's what you do.
Yeah.
Now, who is Ashton Hall?
Who am I? I would say I'm a person that just, I love life. Let's start there. And I think the number one thing that drives me is that I tell people, put the vision in front of you first, and that's the first step. And don't let anyone sway you. And what I do as what makes Ashton Hall who he is, he just stays focused. He's very focused on the dream. But along with that, he allows key people in his journey that can kind of take him closer to the dream. Excellent. And I think that's important. So I work with a lot of professionals that have lived their dream in front of me, and then I could just learn from them and move in that direction. And I think that's important. Yeah.
Fabulous. And we're going to talk a lot more about what you're doing and what's coming up next. But we're teasing that because you're going to be excited about something he's presenting this late summer, early fall. I'm so excited for him to talk more about it. But as we continue on, now you mentioned you are a fashion designer by trade.
Yeah.
Now, can you tell our audience what design category would you put your brand in?
So I do. My collection is the Ashton Hall collection, and we design for both men and women, and it's classics with a twist. So it's so exciting. To be honest with you, I just saw one of my clients. We were at an art exhibit the other evening, and one of my clients came in and said, "Oh my God, it's so good to see you." He said, "Remember that jacket that you made for me? I'm still wearing it."
Awesome.
So when I hear that from my clients, or even if I see one of my designs 5 or 6 years later, it still looks fresh and new.
Awesome.
Because I think it's so important to have these key items in your wardrobe.
Absolutely.
That you can just layer it, or you can add your special touch to it, and it still looks new. It doesn't look dated. It's not trendy. So that's the key and the foundation to the collection.
That's amazing. So would you say that you have a classic collection that you present to the world?
Absolutely. I mean, and the secret behind it, really, I'm giving away all my secrets now,
yes, please.
is it's all about the fabrication.
Yes.
So if you work with really good quality fabrics, and it's all about the fit. I make sure that we focus on those two areas. And then once you take care of that, the garment looks amazing.
That's amazing.
It looks amazing. Yeah.
So would you tell a entrepreneur, someone just coming out the gate, what advice would you give them in terms of what category they should be focusing on for their brand.
Mm-hmm.
What advice would you give them once they know what their true vision is?
Yeah, I would say now again, I've been in this industry for some time, and I've worked with top brands. You know, prior to launching my collection, I worked with brands such as Michael Kors. I worked with another brand. It's a high-end brand called PRPS. But then I also lived my dream, and I worked in Paris for another menswear brand. So I would give this advice to anyone coming up. You may have the vision of wanting to start your collection, but work with another designer first.
Beautiful.
Work and learn the technique, learn what the industry is requiring, because you want to be creative, but remember, it's a business as well.
It's a business.
And you need to understand, how do we take that concept into stores? How do we get it, And I know the game has changed because of social media, but still, you got to understand production and development. Those are the things you're going to learn for free at a company that, yes, they're going to pay you, but these are the tools that's going to make you successful when you do your collection.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So get that hands-on training is what
Absolutely,
you're saying.
absolutely.
Learn the business before you launch.
Absolutely. Because a lot of us say, "Oh, I just want to do this. I'm going to jump out there." But the danger in that is, you don't want to jump out and then it doesn't work out.
Right.
And then you feel like a failure.
Right.
And you don't want that, because then now you're going to put your dream on the shelf saying it doesn't work.
Right.
It's not that it doesn't work. You didn't put the tools in place
There you go.
for the success of the business.
Excellent.
And that's what I did. I made sure to do that,
Excellent, excellent. Now, is there a particular fabric, because you mentioned a classic look, is there a particular fabric that you have more preferable, a preference for?
Okay, so when I do my summer collections, I love working with linen. Maybe that's my Caribbean background.
Okay,
But that's my go-to fabric when I think spring summer collection. I love the natural texture of the fabric. A lot of people feel like, oh, linen looks really good when it's really pressed and then you sit in it, it wrinkles. But that's the nature of the fabric. It's the inherent properties. But that's what I love about it. And then in my tailored suits, I like working with like a super 120 wool or wool blend, because again, it gives the clean lines. It allows the fabric to support all the details within the product.
Awesome. So is there a preference based on the season that you're going to display and promote your product, or it's just a passion you have? You mentioned the linen.
Yeah.
And I know you're big on that lace. That lace,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, what you see is lace.
Yeah, so lace. So to answer your question more specifically, yeah, I do kind of categorize the fabrication based on season. But like you stated, lace is something that's transitional, so I can present that in my collections, both spring, summer, or for winter.
Excellent.
We do it. We've done lace evening wear, or we've even now making it more casual and more sporty, and layering it up back to the tailored suits. And that's like one of my number one selling products, both for men and women.
Love it.
Believe it or not.
Love it. Would you say that now your collection can be worn and respected by both men and women?
Absolutely. And I think, when I got into the game, they tell you, because I did go to design school, I attended FIT, and they kind of train you in a box, which is stay in one lane. But that's the danger sometimes of these schools. You want to go to school. 100%, I'm glad I went. But don't get lost in that, because your creativity is going to take root. I feel very comfortable in both the men's and the women's market.
Right.
Some designers don't. You have to know what's best for you.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Would you say that the industry has changed? Because I've noticed personally, and I think a lot of us have, that men can wear women's clothing and women can wear men's clothing. Do you have an opinion about that? And have you infused any of that concept into your design collection?
So what's taking the market now is like a lot of gender fluid merchandise, and I find that there's room for any artist.
Yes.
Let's put it that way, which is what makes fashion such a beautiful industry, because you can really take your gift and your talent, and then this is a platform where you're free to display those items. Now, in my collection, we moved the bar a little. We didn't make it gender fluid, but we do experiment a little bit here and there, especially on the women's side. We took some of the tailored suiting and was inspired from some of the structure in the men's
That's awesome.
jackets. So you kind of feel that there. And then on the men's side, we softened it up a little bit with prints and patterns to give just a softer look. Again, it's all about the collection, though. It has to sit and make sense in the collection. And that's
Yes.
the key thing when you're working seasonal like this. You start out with a theme, then you layer in your colors and your fabrics. So that's what you want to see, a cohesive collection for the men
Yes.
and the women.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Now that's for the design student. Did you hear what he said? Cohesive collection.
Yes.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much because I know a lot of design students will be able to draw from that.
Yeah.
That they need to see a collection in its totality
Yes.
and also be able to segment it and sell it.
Absolutely.
Because you might
Absolutely.
find in one collection, maybe 2 or 3 pieces do better than the whole tribe, if you will, that you
Absolutely.
created, right?
Yeah, but that's where when you're planning out a collection, you know, I go into it like an artist. But just like
Yes.
if somebody's writing an album or doing a play or a book, you immerse yourself into the creativity of the product first, and you let your dreams flow, and then we edit, and that comes from the training.
Beautiful.
That's why I say it's so important that you learn the industry side as well, because you want to take the creativity and build that, but then there's a real market that's going to buy your product. So you have to edit it down and then allow to say, okay, price points, who's the consumer that's going to buy it. All of these things are the business angle
Yes.
that is going to make you successful. And that's how I approached it.
And you have to be in the game to even understand how to price out
Absolutely,
your vision,
yeah.
correct?
And you won't learn that. You won't understand what does it mean to have the markup, the IMU correct, or how do you take that cost of the merchandise, mark into a wholesale price and a retail price? What does that all mean
What does that
in the
all
industry?
mean?
And if you don't know that, that's how stores talk to you. Because they want to
Yes.
know, if I buy your garment at this wholesale price, what is my markup? How much money am I going to
Yes.
make? Why should I
Yes.
trust your product in my business? And if we don't think like that, you'll get caught out there and you get lost in the creativity. And that's the balance I bring to the table with Ashton Hall.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's exceptional. Thank you. Thank you. That powerful, powerful. Now, if you had to start all over again, would you do anything differently to
Great
make
question.
Ashton Hall even more successful than he is today?
Wow, powerful question.
Thank you.
There are days when I do look back on my journey and I realize I would second guess myself, and that's something. If I can tell my younger self, do not second guess yourself. When you walk in a room, you're in that room for that moment, and don't shrug back and feel like, oh, am I worthy?
Yes.
How am I? I've met so many celebrities, so many top people, and in those moments I'm saying, how did I get here? But don't pull back. Those opportunities that God provides for you is because you're supposed to be there.
Awesome.
And when you understand that, you just move forward in confidence. That's what I would tell my younger self. I would say, do not shrug back. Go forward in confidence, because you're in that room because you're supposed to be in
Love
that
it.
room.
Amen. Because you're supposed to be in that
Supposed
room.
to be there.
Because he makes room for all of
Absolutely.
our gifting and talent.
Yes.
That's scriptural. And it seems like you're embodying it and living it.
Yeah.
Your real testimony.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank
Thank you for being Ashton Hall, because we need more Ashton Halls to not just survive but thrive.
Thank you.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
Wow.
Amazing. Now, another question.
Sure.
If you were able to pivot during the pandemic, how did you do that? Were you able? And if you were, how?
Well, that's a great question as well, because we actually were in that situation. We were getting ready to do one of our collections. We had the venue booked, we had the models booked, and we just were hoping we would meet the cutoff, because they started shutting down
Yes,
some
yes.
venues, and literally 2 weeks before they said we just can't do the show.
Wow.
So we said, what do we do? Because all that money was invested. But what I did was I got a call from my sister. She was in Florida, and she said, we need masks here at the hospital. We don't have any. And I said, okay, fine. I'll work on some. She says, no, I don't need some. I need like 100.
Wow.
So I said, okay, fine. I'm going to make that happen. So we did that quickly and we sent it out. But in that moment, I said, God, you gave me this talent, that we're in a situation that I can now take my talent to meet a need.
Yes.
And we took it up another notch. We partnered with another factory that were making these these products that allowed to create wicking, meaning if you had on your mask, it protected you. So if someone was talking to you, the virus wouldn't get through that. Also, it was
Amazing.
And then we also focused on the bearded group because, the men who were growing their beards at that time
Yes.
and they didn't have a product to cover that. So we developed two masks that were strategically designed to protect and to cover that product, that area. And we got this huge contract from one of the schools because this particular school didn't shut down, so they needed masks.
That's
So we
amazing.
added their logo and we created this
Amazing.
mask for this from kindergarten right to high school. And I look at that and I say, God, because of the talent that I had, I was able to pivot,
There you
right?
go.
Keep the business flowing, but meet the
Meet
immediate
The
need.
need of the community.
And this was a school, and,
Powerful.
and to know that this product allowed this school to, they didn't have to shut down. No one got sick wearing the mask. I mean, even I
Amazing.
sold it to my barber. Like, he bought some, and he said all the other people didn't buy it, and they're sick. He's the only one that never got sick.
Wow.
So that to me was the greatest gift that I was
Compliment.
able to bring in the moment that it was devastating to the world,
Amazing.
and say, God, this little gift you gave me, this is saving lives. I mean, that's more than just a great garment.
Amazing.
So that was the way we pivoted.
Ooh.
So I'm getting chills talking about it.
That's amazing. This is what it's about.
Yeah.
Beauty into power.
Yes, yes,
Literally.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
God bless. Thank you for being a strategic partner in our survival
Yeah.
during the pandemic.
Yeah.
That's flawless.
Thank you.
That's what I like to call it. Now, what 3 top things would you share with a young pledging designer
Mm-hmm.
in today's market? You started talking about that,
Okay.
but the top 3.
The top
because
3.
we have some designers who watch this show.
Okay.
They can be hair designers, makeup designers.
Right.
They could be fashion designers. They could be photographers. Anyone creative, anyone that is in the design creative element. What 3 things would you tell them to do, not just business-wise, 'cause we covered a lot about that,
Yeah.
but about keeping their vision alive and being able to tap into who they are so they can keep that inner strength going? What did you do, and what could you share with them, the 3 top things from what you have gone through?
Okay. Well, I would say the top 3 things is, and I did mention it before, vision
Yes.
is the number one thing. So you would have to, as it states, write the vision and make it plain.
Yes, make
Because
it plain.
only you will understand where you're going. A lot of your friends may say, oh, that's not possible. Like, quick example, when I was younger growing up, I had the vision of wanting to live and work in Paris. And I'm growing up in Brooklyn, and all my friends were like, that's the dumbest thing we've ever heard. You don't speak French. Who do you know in Paris? You're never going to get there. But then when I got into design school, the vision became much clearer
Yes.
on how I could get
Yes.
there. And then when I got the opportunity to go was when they reached out to me to not only be the lead designer, but to run the company.
Amazing.
So it was more than just going there creatively. So you have to have the vision.
Vision.
And then throughout my journey, I was preparing for the opportunity. Because you don't want the opportunity to come and then you go,
There you
oh,
go.
I'm not ready. So vision is number one. The second thing I would say is be true to yourself.
Yes.
If you want to do a men's line, a women's line, children's, whatever it is, be true to yourself and be ready to talk about it. If you meet somebody on the street and say, well, what do? I design clothing for children, and that should be your quick elevated speech all day
Yes.
long, because you don't know who else is listening to you.
Yes.
And they could say, well, that's so interesting. This has happened so many times for me, because when I tell people, oh, I'm a designer, oh my goodness, we were looking for someone, or we're working on a movie, and I've done movies, I've done theater, all because I shared, oh, this is what I do. And they said, we need a costume designer. Can you do
There
that?
you go.
And so that's the second thing I would say is
Share your vision.
share your vision, have a vision, but then share it. Because lots of times we want to keep it bottled up. And the third thing is align yourself with other mentors. Now, I
Love
know
it.
it gets challenging because people say, well, how do I find them? Or do they really have time for me? There are many people like me that take time out for those coming. I have several people now, mentees, that I've watched their journey, and they went on to make millions.
Yes.
Because they will call me and say, I want to do this. How do I do it? And I'll say, okay, let's talk about it. But the most important thing I tell them is be prepared. Don't come to the table with, I think I want to do this, but I don't know. That's going to be a waste of everyone's time.
Everyone's time.
That's why I say get the vision, be clear on what you want to do, and then get the mentor that's going to guide you And those are the three things that's going to ultimately get you to a level of success.
Awesome. Have the vision, share the vision, and look for people that can help propel your vision.
Yep. There you
Awesome.
go.
You got it? Great little formula right there. 3 top things. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now, what advice would you give a struggling artist? They're already in the game. We already talked about the new pledging, right?
Yeah.
Struggling. They're like right there, almost there. And if they don't get that order, they may have to shut down. What would you tell them?
Okay. Now, that's a common thing in this industry because, again, it's one of these industries that you have to take money to develop your samples,
Right.
and you have to believe in it, and then you may get to meet with buyers and they may not buy the collection. So you can have those seasons. So there may be times you have to stop and then try again. There's nothing wrong with that. I had to do that 3 times, and I'm grateful to my family, to my parents, but especially my dad. He was someone in my life that when I said, Dad, I opened my retail store 3 times. The first time I did it, I just didn't know. And I said, I'm so excited. And I did it, but it didn't work. And then when I went to my dad, I said, I feel like I failed. He said, no, you didn't fail. Let's try it again. What did you learn? Let's try the second time. The second time, it failed. It was the wrong location. We didn't do enough research as far as the financials to prepare for it. And then finally on the 3rd one, he said, okay, let's do it again. And I said, Daddy, are you kidding me? He says, no, I believe in you. And if I believe in you, you're going to be successful.
Amazing.
And this is the thing. That's why it's so important of your circle. You have to have a good core circle of people that when you feel like giving up, they're like, no, come on, you got this. Try again, try again. So now and we're gonna talk more about where I'm about to go next, and you will understand why it's so important. You don't give up, because right around the corner is the thing that
right
you
around
need
the corner
that's gonna take your dream globally.
That's awesome. And now let's just naturally transition. What's next for you, King? The Ashton Hall collection?
I'm so excited. And this is the first time I'm talking about this. So you are being the only one.
Audience, you're getting it first.
You're getting it first. You're getting it first. And I'm so excited because even when I thought like, oh my goodness, is it too late for me? Because those moments come up like, am I too old? I've been in the game forever. Finally, right around the corner was the opportunity. And I spoke to one of my my boss that I used to work with in Paris, and we just were talking one day, and I said, I really want to take my dream globally. Wow. He said, well, let's do it. I said, no, I'm serious. He says, let's do it. So we're in negotiations right now where we're going to set up a showroom in Paris. We're going to set up a showroom in Milan.
I'm coming to both.
We're doing a big show in August to launch the collection. So it's the full collection of Ashton Hall. It's the clothing, it's the handbags, it's the ladies and men's shoes. All of this is going to premiere in August, and then it goes to the showrooms, and we start selling it globally. We already have distribution set up. We already have fabric mills. I mean, this is when I tell you, if God is in something, you don't got to work hard.
Look at that.
I have fabric mills that are stepping to the table saying, how can we help? What do you need from us? We've had meetings already with the factories. So we're doing one big meeting in Paris where all the players, meaning from sales to production to development, we're meeting to say,
the key players.
This is how we're going to roll it out. And I thought that it was too late. It's not too late.
It's amazing.
It's not too late. And my dream is about to manifest in a global way, because that was the dream.
Amazing. If that is not power on fire.
Yeah.
And so there really is no age limit to realizing your dream.
No, and that's the beauty about fashion. I mean, when you look at some of your greats that Vera Wang, she didn't really get successful until she was like in her mid-40s.
That's right.
There's several other top designers that, we know about, but they really took root later in their career, because part of it really is what makes a brand is you got to have the history.
Yes.
When I talk about Ashton Hall, I have a long history behind who I am and the brand, which gives it depth. Because I was talking to someone the other day saying, why would you need to buy another white blouse? Or white shirt. It's not the shirt. It's the name on the shirt and what's behind it.
Yes.
So if the designer has a journey, if he has worked at top companies,
you're
buying all into that. Just like in the music industry,
that's
same thing.
That's right.
So
building a catalog.
Building a catalog. So don't give up. That's the learn from me.
Don't give up.
Because at this age, I'm thinking like, I should be laying on the beach somewhere.
You're only
but
35.
Come on now. Come on now. So I'm learning, do not give up. And
Yes.
that's the thing that I tell myself every day.
Yes.
Because when this was presented to me,
You
I
have to
said
push yourself.
I said, are you kidding me? He said, whatever you need, we got you. Just
That's
tell us
amazing.
what you want.
Amazing. But they will only say that when they know that you are backable.
Yeah.
And you've given us the tools and how to become bankable.
Yeah.
Bankable and backable.
Absolutely.
Because people are not here to waste their money or their time.
No. So you have to do the work. I mean, I
Yes,
did
put
the
in the
work for
work.
years. I mean, developing garments, late nights, staying up, making patterns and sewing and creating. All of that has been documented.
Yes.
So when I speak to these people, they're not questioning that, am I investing in something good or is this going to make, because remember, it's a business.
Yes, it is.
They're not investing in me because, oh, we like him. No, they're
Yes.
saying, I see that we can make 20, 50, $100 million on this investment. And that's the kind of money we're talking that's going to be put behind this project. So we're excited.
Oh,
Really
you
excited.
should be. And congratulations. Thrilled for you. Now, where can we purchase your collection? Once it's launched, where will you be featured? And what's next for the brand? What
Okay.
exciting news can you share with us?
Okay. So right now we do have a website. It's Ashton Hall Collection. And that's where you can kind of go and get more information about the next steps because we're really going to post on there. We're kind of keeping it a little low key because we're relaunching the brand.
Okay.
So it's a whole new photo shoot we're doing. It's a whole new website because we have to set it up so that it's going to be e-commerce available.
Yes.
So right now, if you go there, it's more about information. You can see the designs, my previous collections, but the goal now is to take it there. And we have, like I said, an amazing back-end team that's already putting that together.
Now, what's an e-collection?
I'm sorry, the e-commerce side.
E-commerce
Yeah,
collection.
so we're setting it up so that you, the consumers, can go to the website and then buy direct.
Okay.
And then we already have the distribution set up where they can drop, just like at Amazon, they can drop ship directly to you. With the store, the actual brick and mortar stores, is probably about 2 to 3 years out because we want to focus on
That's right.
the showroom first. So that's going to happen right away. We're setting up a satellite design office in Paris.
Awesome.
So what we're going to do is we're going to work with the students there, and I will, give them the direction of what I want. They'll do some of the research. And with a brand like this, you need a team.
Yes.
When you see a big designer, it's not one designer working. It's
Exactly.
a whole team that makes a brand very successful. So what else? The third question was the next big plan.
Yes.
I would say the next big plan is I always wanted to do the shoes and the handbags, so that's coming along. But long term, just to kind of give you the long term plan, is that
Give
we're
it
going to bring
give
out
us the goodies.
fragrance and we're going to bring out cosmetics.
Awesome.
Because that's in my background as well.
Awesome.
Secret sidebar note: I used to work in cosmetics
Yes,
many
he
years
did.
ago. So, but again, even though I have that information, I'm not letting it go away. I'm going to
Yes.
pull it into the brand and make it a lifestyle brand from
Love it.
clothing, shoes, handbags, fragrance, and cosmetics. That's the big
That's
plan. It's a
beautiful. The big
5-year
picture.
plan. It's
That's
a 5-year plan.
amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank
I'm
you.
excited for you. I see it going global plus and being here forever.
Yeah.
And may it outlive you and all
Yes.
generations in your name. May it continue to
you.
grow
Thank you.
and continue to bless the nation and
Ooh,
the
I'm
world.
excited.
I'm so excited for you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here on
Thanks so much.
Beauty into Power, featuring Mr. Ashton Hall with the Ashton Hall Collection.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, King. Thank you for the time. Thank you for blessing us with your wisdom.
Yes.
And this was on time.
It was.
I
yeah.
want you to continue as an audience to look for this man and his beautiful collection. You're going to be very impressed. One thing we did not mention was the fact that you're inclusive with not just being with a young look,
Yeah.
or you're inclusive of all ages,
Yes,
and that's
yes.
very important. So women my age to the babies, he has something for you.
I've dressed them all.
Yes, he is dressed them all, and has a collection for everyone.
Yes.
So please look out for the beautiful Ashton Hall collection, and we'll be talking to and seeing you soon at Beauty into Power. Thank you.
Beauty is your power. My beauty is my power. Hey, hey, hey now. Hear these words and sing it louder. We turn beauty into power. We turn beauty into power. Hey, hey, hey now. Hear these words and sing it